Good morning, Mom. Good morning, classmates. So, today we will discuss teaching EPP in Industrial Arts Module 7. So, let's begin. So, first we will discuss about the handicraft and its contribution to economy. So, handicraft, more precisely expressed as an artisanal handicraft, sometimes also called artisanry, is a type of work where useful and decorative devices are made completely by hand or by using only simple tools is a traditional main sector or craft. So this is very basic and understandable when it comes to handicrafts, right? So we have an example here, a pottery. So it's the art of making objects from hard clay by exposing them to heat or fire. For example, after we mold it, we will be able to come up with a pot, statues, cups, urns, vases, jars, flat plates. So this art has been used for over 9,000 years, usually consists of archaeological artifacts that defined an era or time in history. Next, we have weaving. Weaving is the making of fabric by interlacing threads. The machine used for weaving is called a loom. Wrap threads are stretched on a frame, and an instrument called shuffle carries with threads under and over the wrap. So next we have wood carving. So there are materials used in wood objects in the Philippines. So in Bicol, abaga is used. The bamboo, rattan are also used especially for pieces of furniture that are world class and are exported abroad. So the art if putting design on a pieces of wood. Jewelry. It is a favorite accessories of ancient people. It consists usually of amulets that are used to keep evil spirits away. So Tibulists use brass for chains and bells. They also use beads and strings to make necklaces, etc. Tattoos are also used to decorate one's body. They also show one's place in society. So yeah, this is one of the famous jewelry accessories from our indigenous group. Handicrafts is very important because it represents our culture and tradition. It promotes the heritage of country through the use of indigenous materials, and it preserves traditional knowledge and talents. So these are the indigenous materials used for handicrafts. So as you can see in the image, there's a bamboo, abaca, a coconut shell, and many more. So indigenous materials, so these are raw materials that are naturally found from the environment. These are the basic indigenous materials used for making Filipino handicrafts. So number one, abaca. So this is one of the most popular raw materials that can be found here in the Philippines, also known as Manila hemp. Abaca fibers are used for making various products like bags and slippers. As you can see, it's very nice and authentic. As you can see, the slippers are strong enough to use for the whole year. Next, we have bamboo. So this is a kind of grass that used in making most of the Filipino made furniture, versatile and high reliable raw material. So we have examples here for our bamboo products. So we have, of course, our furniture, a coin bank, a tools that we can use in the kitchen. So we have here a spoon, fork, chopping board, and many more. Next we have buri, extracted from the matured leaves of the buri palm. The fiber is durable and resistant to moisture. We have examples of buri products. So we have here a fan, a bag, and a mat. Next, we have here coconut shells. So, if there is one kind of tree that you can surely say abundant in this country, it's the coconut tree. It is an agricultural waste and is available in plentiful quantities throughout tropical countries worldwide. Aside from tasty coconut fruit and strong planks of coconut lumbers that this tree produces, craftsmen are also used in coconut shells. So various products are being made out of this material such as coin banks, buttons, flower vases, and lampshades. We also have here rattan. This material is often used in making furniture in a typical Filipino house. You will see a set of furniture made with rattan, a bamboo-like wood which is more hollow and solid. As you can see in the examples of the rattan products, so there is a crib, a bowl, and also a furniture made of rattan. Discuss fisheries and aquaculture. So when we say fisheries, refers to the enterprise of raising or harvesting fish and other aquatic life, and also the site where such an enterprise is set up. As per the Food and Agricultural Organization or FAO, a fishery is an activity leading to the harvest of fish. So it may involve the capture of wild fish or raising of fish through aquaculture. So it is classified on the basis of the people involved, species or type of fish, area of water or seabed, method of fishing, class of boats, purposes, and etc. We have types of fisheries, which is the marine fisheries and inland freshwater fisheries. Marine fisheries, the sources of marine fisheries include 7,500 kilometers of coastline and deep seas beyond it. So when we say marine fisheries, it is very popular marine fish varieties because it includes mackerel, tuna, sardines, and Bombay duck. So marine fish are caught using many kinds of fishing nets through the fishing boats. So some marine fishes of high economical value are also found in seawater. We have inland freshwater fisheries. Fisheries that are present in freshwater resources include canals, ponds, and reservoirs, etc. It is more intensive. Fish farming can be done in composite fish culture in this type of fishery. So next we will discuss economic importance of fish. Number 1, fish as a food. The fish flesh is an excellent source of protein, has very little fat, carries a number of minerals and vitamins A and D, and such rich in iodine. Number 2, we have here fish for controlling diseases. So, diseases like malaria, yellow fever, and other dreadful diseases that are spread through mosquitoes can be controlled. Next, we have here scientific value. So, some fish, like the lungfish, are of zoological importance because of their discontinuous distribution and anatomical features. Therefore, we have aesthetic value. A large number of fish are cultured in aquariums for their beauty and graceful movements. So the important aquarium fish are macropods. Next, we have the fishery byproducts. Includes fish oil, isinglass, fish oil, fish meal, fish protein, fish flour, fish skin. Say fish oil, it is extracted from the liver of the sharks, so fishes, etc. I have here isinglass. It is a high-grade collagen produced from the air bladder or swim bladder of certain fishes like catfishes and carps. The isinglass prepared in Russia is one of the best quality. So next we have here fish oil. Dry oil is obtained from salmon and herring. Semi-dry oil from carps. Liver oil contains vitamin A, D, and E. So fish meal is prepared from waste of fish oil. The waste of the food industry is called white fish meal. Fish meal contains calcium with 5.36%, phospholipids which is 3.42%, and iodine. For younger animals, it has proved to be a good nutritious diet. So next we have fish protein, used in the preparation of ice cream, pharmaceutical, paints, varnishes, textile, papers, and cosmetics. We also have fish flour. It is a high quality or highly nutritious food prepared by solvent extraction processes, easily digested by infants to 3 to 4 months. So fish skin, the skin of some fishes like sharks and rays are used for covering cards, cases, jewel boxes, scrub boards, etc. The skins of seafood, salmon, and other fishes is also tanned and converted into leather. For the advantages of fish farming, first we have stable supply with fish, relief for our wild aquatic animals, waste reduction related to commercial fishing, protections of habitats, mitigation of the endangered species problem may be necessary to feed our growing world population, local income source for people who stay near the seas, employment opportunities are at a high rate since the production of fish is high. Fish farming may mitigate the starvation issue, supply with large amount of omega-3 fatty acids, lower prices for the purchases of fish near the coastal areas. We have advantages of fish farming. We also have the disadvantages of it. So first, they are using antibiotics, use of growth hormones, genetic manipulation, water pollution, fish feed and partially made out of wild fish, problems if farm fishes escape and breed with wild fish, can be regarded to be unnatural. Conditions in fish farms are usually quite poor. The general public may not accept fish from aquaculture. Fish farming is quite inefficient. Ecosystems are altered. Pests in fish farms can spread to wild aquatic animals. Adverse health effect for humans. Regulations regarding fish farming vary across countries. And lastly, the commercial fishing industry may suffer. Now let's proceed with the freshwater and aquaculture. So what is freshwater and aquaculture? It refers to raising and breeding aquatic animals like fish, shrimp, crab, shellfish, etc., and plants for economic purposes by the use of ponds, reservoirs, lakes, rivers, and other inland waterways, including brackish water, which play an important role in the aquaculture industry. So why is freshwater aquaculture important? Freshwater aquaculture dominates global aquaculture production, but its importance is often overlooked in the global food policy agenda and research. So we all know aquaculture can be a potential means of reducing over need to import fishery products. It can mean an increased number of jobs, enhanced sports and commercial fishing, and a reliable source of protein for the future. We all know fish is rich source of animal protein, and its culture is an efficient protein food production system from aquatic environment. Types of cultural system. Brackish water fish pond. Brackish water fish pond is the earliest fish pond which was originated in the island of Madura or East Java by Hir and Mendoza 1929. It was started in the Philippines way back 1521 to 1921 in Mactan, Cebu. As you can see in the image, this is the example of the brackish water fish pond in the Philippines. Ponds culture. It is the earliest form of aquaculture which is basically limited to fresh water. This is the earliest form of aqua dating back to 1400s to 1137 before Christ. Considering the most popular and most important farming culture system, as you can see, there's an earthen embankment, or shall we say enclosure embankment in between. We have here valley culture. It is one of the most ancient forms of aquaculture in the Mediterranean region in 1960. So this is basically exploit the seasonal migrations of some fish species from the sea into lagoons by preventing the fish returning to the sea. Example, the eel, the sea bass, sole, mullets, and these are also the target species of the valley culture. Next is the brush park. It's a traditional form of low technology aquaculture which is practiced in coastal lagoons and brackish waters in many areas of the world. Basically, this is done by placing vegetation in the water areas to attract the fish, shrimp, crabs, and many other forms of aquatic animals that is being cultivated and harvested later on. Next, we have floodplain fisheries. It's a seasonal activity depending on the duration and amount of flood filling the low areas. Usually, this is done near the river banks, also properly timed to coincide with the seasonality of the fisheries and the water level in the flood plain. As you can see, people utilizing the flood for fisheries whenever there will be a high water level and there will be a seasonal for the specific fish in that certain locality. Next, we have aqua silviculture. Is the rearing and growing of fish and other aquatic organisms in enclosed sections within mangrove areas to enhance fisheries production in the wild. We will discuss the mariculture. Is a specialized branch of aquaculture involving the cultivation of marine organisms in seawaters, including tanks, ponds, raceways, cages, and pans. This is very popular to anyone. As you can see in the image, there are some of the modern advances for the mariculture. As you can see, there is a variety of culture that is being utilized in this specialized branch. So the first image from the left, that is the raceways. Next to it is the Norwegian fish cage. Down there is the submersible fish cage. And the last one is the fish cage rig. So this is the largest aquaculture fish pond in the world. Next, we have here sea ranching. It involves introducing juveniles into the natural environment where they are allowed to grow without containment structures. It is without contentment, without enclosure, like enhancing the wild stocks in the certain fishing grounds. Example, the sea cucumber, scallops, abalone is the seaweed farming. So farming of Euchuma or red algae started in the 1960s, used also as human food and a source of phycocolloid, particularly Dea carrageenan. Next is seaweed farming problems. So it is an ice disease is a phenomenon caused by low salinity temperature and light intensity. So with this, the seaweed exudes organic substance which is mucilaginous in nature, and with the presence of opportunities bacteria in the water column aggravates the whitening of the branches. As you can see in the example of the agar-agar, there is a white in the top. Next, we will discuss the mariculture management. Mariculture has been defined as the cultivation, management, and harvesting of marine organisms in their natural environment, including estuarine, brackish, coastal, and offshore waters, or enclosures such as pens, tanks, or channels. We'll discuss the cultural structure in mariculture. So first we have here cage culture. Is an enclosure with bottom and sides of netting or bamboo, etc., whether floating at the surface or totally submerged. So it was introduced in the Philippines, year 1965 by BFAR. It is also the first species cultured common carp, Cyprinus carpio, introduced from Hong Kong in 1950. Yes, you can see in the examples here, both sides of the cage has a net on it. So next we have here fish pen. Pen is a fixed enclosure in which the bottom is the bed of the water body. It has begun in 1968 as an experimental venture of the Philippines Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources in the freshwater lake Laguna de Bay. So as you can see, they are utilizing a wood stick, or shall we say bamboo stick, and a net in order that they can create a like a fence. So usually they are culturing fish like a milk fish in here. Next we have here fish tanks. A concrete or fiberglass type of enclosure that allows the aquaculturist to exert a relatively high degree of environmental control over parameters. Usually the fish tanks use in an ornamental fishes or decorative fishes, or shall we say pets, like the colorful fish which is koi. So yeah, they're using this kind of structures, like also we call it aquarium. We can decorate it as much as we want. So that's the end of my report. Thank you for listening and have a good one.